Gourmet is sponsored by Liquor Junction of 345 Washington Street in Woburn. Other locations include 1 General Way in Reading, 632 Main Street in Winchester, and 14 McGrath Highway in Somerville. Gibson Sotheby's International Realty. Hillside Florist, located at 888 Main Street in Woburn. And Mooney Dental. Trusted dental care that you and your family can smile about.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Easy Gourmet. I'm your chef and host Vinny Felici, glad to have you in my kitchen today. Today's menu, 2 separate entrees. Well, one's a sandwich and one's an entree. The Iowa Skinny Sandwich is a fried pork tenderloin, which is very popular in the Midwest. Everybody around the world has their own snack, late night snack. In Canada, it's the poutine. In Boston, it's the pizza. In New York, it could be hamburgers or anything. And in Pennsylvania or in Philadelphia, it's the Philly cheese sandwich. But out in the Midwest, it's this Iowa Skinny Sandwich. We're going to make one of those today. And then we're just going to come back to a classic, my version of lemon chicken, which is basically an entree, coated chicken. And that can go with anything. It can go with pasta, it can go with rice. And that is going to be our menu today, 2 proteins today. So let's get started. We're going to be intertwining, I think, these recipes. They're going to be overlapping. We'll have to do one, the other one starts, and then they both kind of, well, hopefully they can finish at the same time. Let's get our sauce started for the lemon chicken. What we want is about 3 cloves of garlic. Chopped finely. I should have had this done already, but we ran into some unforeseen circumstances this afternoon. But that's okay. When you're under the gun, it makes for a better show. So. And we want to get those chopped up. If anybody wants to say hello to the Easy Gourmet, well, you can always say hello when you see me out in the real world. But if you want to send me an email, it's wpmceasygourmet@gmail.com. So we have 3 cloves of garlic. I'm going to be just doing 2 chicken breasts today. So it would be like 2 or 3 cloves of garlic for 2 or 3 chicken breasts. So if you were doing a whole batch of these, like enough for 5 or 6 people, you probably want to use 5 to 6 cloves. So we just got our garlic in there. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and a couple of tablespoons, just going to eyeball all this. Eyeball this of a couple of tablespoons of oil. And we want to get that going. When it's a little fragrant, we want to get our other ingredients mixed in with this, but we want to get that going first. So for our coating on our chicken, we're going to do so what we're going to do is we're going to need a cup of Parmesan or Romano cheese. I happen to have Romano, but you can use Parmesan. 3 tablespoons of flour. I've done this with rice flour also. It comes out just as good. So if you're gluten-free, you can use rice flour. So for every cup of flour, it's 3 tablespoons. Every cup of cheese, it's 3 tablespoons of flour. And just mix that in. And so for our wet ingredients, it's another 2 cloves, 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. Let's check this. I don't want it to go too crazy. It's fine. We're doing fine. I want to get this chopped up nice and fine. It's good to, I mean, if you have a lot to do, it's good to have all this ready in advance, but I didn't do that today. So that goes in there. A little bit of chopped parsley. This is optional. You can use other things here. Oregano, Italian seasoning. I'm just going to use regular flat Italian parsley. Italian seasoning has marjoram in it, oregano, and a few other different things. Lavender, I think, is in there. A little bit of pepper. And a couple of eggs, couple of beaten eggs. I think we're going to go for 3 eggs, just to make sure we have enough liquid. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Look how, these are large eggs. Look how tiny that yolk is. It's only about as big as a gumball. That is weird, huh? Oh, that's a regular size one. But for some reason, that first one was very tiny. Let's just check this, see how we're doing. Once that's fragrant, we're going to be adding a couple of other ingredients. I just want to get these eggs beaten and have the chicken soaking in this for a minute or so. Put this off to the side. So we're going to use that again. And we have a couple of chicken breasts, 6 ounces each. We're just going to toss that into our egg and let it sit there for a few minutes till I get the sauce going full blast. I'm not going to add any salt to this because the cheese is plenty salty. So I'm just going to leave this here for now. Get rid of that. Get myself a towel. So now I can hear that sizzling. And I want to get 1 cup of chicken stock. And put that in before the garlic starts to turn brown. We just want to get it softened. We don't want it really to have any color, because it starts to get a little bitter once it gets kind of crispy. So we're going to add our chicken stock. That's about 1 cup of chicken stock. My homemade chicken stock, of course, and the juice of 2 lemons. And I got a new tool over the holidays, a lemon squeezer. It's very nice. The only thing I noticed, you have to take the tips off the lemon. It works better. You could certainly use bottled lemon juice for this, but I happen to like fresh lemons. And what I like about this little contraption here is that you get right down to the bare, takes like everything out, right down to the bare skin.
Benny,
Yes.
suppose you flip the egg around, upside down.
This way?
No, the lemon.
The lemon. Where am I?
So, okay, take the lemon out.
Take the lemon
And
out.
flip it upside down.
This way?
No, the other way.
This way?
No, yes, and that's how you squeeze it.
That's how you squeeze it?
Yes. I have one at home.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It didn't come with any directions.
Yeah, no, that's how you do it.
Oh my God, you get more juice out of it. Jen wants to have her own show, I can tell. So I take this and I put it this way.
Yes.
I don't put it this way.
No.
I put it this way. Oh yeah, that way the seeds stay in there.
Yeah.
I've only used it once. Yeah. Oh yeah, now it really gets, look at that. Okay, one more. See, I bet you nobody knew that besides you. What about the first time you used this? The very first time?
What do you mean?
The very first time you used this, you put it in the right way?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I've been using it for a while.
I did try to open up a can upside down once. Okay, enough of that. So now we'll add that to our, we're just going to crank up the heat just a little. And I want to just get that stirred somewhat. And get that boiled down a little bit. And that's going to be the basis for our sauce. Just let me clean up for 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put on some gloves for the next step. Just make sure this is simmering somewhat. And just to make it a little easier, this is a little can get a little sticky here. One thing I did notice, if you're doing like about a half a dozen of these to like 8 pieces, you're going to have to change out the cheese because the cheese gets kind of damp and lumpy. So that's about the only thing you have to watch with this whole recipe. So just coat these with the cheese and flour mixture. And just let it air dry for a few minutes. Again, in this egg mixture, you can put oregano, Italian seasoning, whatever you like. Lot more black pepper than we put. Whatever you would like can go into this egg. And that is that. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this. We don't need that. And we don't need this. And what I'm going to do is set up a roasting pan. I'm going to use non-stick foil. If you don't have any non-stick foil and you want to use foil, just put regular foil down and put a little spray. And actually, you know something? I may use a little spray anyway, just to make sure it doesn't stick. And I did pound these out prior to the show, not that much, but I wanted the chicken to be even so it'll cook evenly. And just a little oil on top. And this is going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. This is boiling nicely. Just want to get this thickened up a little. I'm just going to add a little bit more butter now to this. Another 2 tablespoons of butter. So total 4, but I only wanted to use the first 2 tablespoons just to saute the garlic with the oil. And I'm using this to finish the sauce off. I'm going to just let this simmer slowly. And that is that. Now we'll get on to our Iowa skinny sandwich as soon as I can just clean this up just quickly. Again, it's a staple out in the Midwest. And I'm hoping if it comes out great today, it'll be a staple in your kitchen. So we have, let's see. I have a pork tenderloin here that I want to clean up. This is a pound. It's exactly a pound, just happens to be a pound. So I may just use half today. And what I want to do is clean this up slightly. Get some of the excess fat off. So what'll happen is if you drop this into hot oil, even with the coating, it'll splatter a little because the fat has a lot of there's a lot of water in this and whatever else is in this fat, and it makes the oil splatter. So we're gonna go. Let's go with half today. Just gonna put this other half back in the fridge. And let me get some gloves on again. These days when I'm handling raw meat, I just want to make sure that, even though my hands are semi-clean, it's just best if you do this. And it's easy to clean up too. I have a clean bag here, which I'm going to toss just a little bit of water in. And that way when we're going to bang these out into cutlets. So I want about, let's see, about an inch and a half, kind of a hockey puck kind of situation. And I'm going to get rid of this one. And bang these out. And the water inside the bag will eliminate some of the friction, so the meat should not tear. And let's see, I want to get a plate here with a little bit of flour. And I'm going to drop these when I think they're thin enough. I'm going to drop these into the flour. Make sure, like I say, you want them thin like a cutlet, but you don't want them that you can see through them, because if you get that low, they'll break. So I've got one more here. Okay, and that is that. So just drop that into the flour, just leave those there for now, get rid of that. All right, where are we? Okay, so we're gonna need a crumb mixture. We're gonna need eggs, of course. That's why I left this out. We have another tray, so 2 more eggs. And mayonnaise. So 2 eggs, about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise for each egg. I'm just eyeballing it. So get rid of this. I'll get a new glove. This is going to be our liquid mixture. I'm just going to add a little bit of black pepper to this. And I'm going to beat the 1/4 cup of mayonnaise per egg. So this is 2 eggs, about a 1/2 cup of mayo. And that goes into our little dish there. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And now it's time for our breadcrumbs. What we want is a 1/2 sleeve of saltine crackers. A lot of the recipes that when I was looking them up online and in some magazines, that this recipe, you could put hot sauce into this, different kinds of herbs, but I found this one here. It's a basic recipe. You can always add to this. This is going to make a lot of noise. I want a little texture still to these. I don't want them into powder. I want sort of almost like the way panko would look. Still with some texture. Put that into a dry bowl. And we're going to make some homemade breadcrumbs. This is where you can get a little creative, but I always make them the same. Is I have a clove of garlic. Nice, it's like a tablespoon of parsley and 1 scallion. But you could go crazy here. You could use some red onion. Let's put that in there. Let's just check our sauce. Oh, it's thickening up. You could drop some capers in here if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that today. I'm just doing a regular plain lemon chicken. So now I get this on low. I just want to keep it warm. It's pretty much ready. It's not a very thick sauce. You could always thicken it up with a little bit of flour or cornstarch, but this is basically, it's just kind of a liquidy lemon sauce. It's not a gravy type sauce. But that second pat of butter actually thickened it up somewhat. So let's get back to this. We got the 1 clove of garlic, the 1 scallion, that nice heavy duty tablespoon of parsley, and then we just pulse that. Till it gets kind of ground. Then we add a cup of plain crumbs. And I'm gonna now you could add salt and pepper to this, which I haven't. Actually, bread does have a lot of salt in it anyway. You could add some black pepper, which let's do that. And I think this is pretty much it. You can use plain crumbs for this if you like. I'm just gonna pour these out in here and I'm just gonna eyeball this. We want like a cup of crumbs mixed in with the this holds 4 cups, so roughly a cup. And we're going to mix that in with the saltines. And that is the basis for our Iowa Skinny. So let me get this out of the way. And let's get our pan going. So I'm just going to move this to the back burner because basically our sauce is ready. Again, that last couple of tablespoons of butter really brought that sauce together. And where's our oil? I want to get our oil going because this is going to be a fried sandwich. I'm going to let that heat up. It's about 6 to 10 tablespoons of oil. Put this to the side, and let's get our coating going here. So, again, the flour. Now again, Tabasco could go in this any way you want to flavor. Look how thick that egg is. Wow. And into our crumbs. Now I've done this recipe a bunch of times. I must say, there's something about saltines frying. They smell really good. Really, really different than just regular breadcrumbs or even panko. Okay, we'll bring this up here just to make it a little easier. Press those in. So about a pound, this is a little small, but about a pound of meat gives you about 6 pieces, give or take, 5.5 to 6 pieces. Now you can't substitute pork. I mean, you could substitute for the pork here, like chicken or something like that, but it wouldn't be an Iowa Skinny. And that is that. I just want those to kind of sit and dry just a little. You can certainly do this way ahead of time, put them in the refrigerator, but we're just going to let them sit here for a few minutes and talk about today's wine. And I have, now you can certainly have any wine you want with this. But today I have, this is new at Liquor Junction. It's a Nero Diavolo, which means the black grape. And it's from Sicily. And I've had this, and I really liked it. And I says, I'm going to have it on today's show. And I hope people will give it a shot. The Nero Diavolo is only a wine that's native of Sicily. So basically it's a red wine made from some grape that is only grown there. And there's many companies that put it out. This is one of the nicer ones. It's in the $10 to $11, $12 range. But I really liked it, so I figure I give this let everybody see this today. And it's got a beautiful floral label. And there is no description on its flavors, on what you can equate it to. But I'm telling you, it's one of the nicest Nero Diavolos that I've had. So anyway, here's to everybody, all the viewers of the Easy Gourmet. Good health. It's very nice. It's fruity. Not extremely, no burn when you It's when you finally swallow, it's very nice. And I hope you'll give it a shot. I just want to let these dry for another minute or so. So let me clean up, and we'll be right back. So I'm just going to test to see how we're doing. And I want them to be at 160, or a little higher would be fine. And I'm at 164 here, and I'm at almost 170, but that's okay. We don't want to go any further, but I want to get a little more color on these. So I'm going to give it a broil for like a minute. So left, let's see, right oven, cancel, right oven. Next time you get a stove, don't get a digital. It drives you crazy. It drives me crazy. Okay. So while that minute, so now we're just going to give it 1 minute to give that enough to broil. These have dried enough, so I'm going to give these a fry. How's this doing? Just gonna make sure we leave our sauce on warm. So I don't want to fry these too violently, but I want to get them nice and crispy. And then we're going to put our sandwich together. Then we're going to put our lemon chicken together. And I think that'll be our show for today. I'm frying this in light olive oil. You can certainly use vegetable. Do not use extra virgin. It's really too heavy. It's really too heavy. Let's check this. Oh, it's going to be nice. I can smell it. It's very nice. Let's see how this is doing. Just another few seconds on this. You just want to brown them up just a little. Just a little more. Okay, where are we? We're in Woburn. Okay. Just a little more. That's good. That's good. And that's good. Okay, let me shut this down. Put this under a heat lamp. If you don't have a heat lamp, you can put it in your oven at 170 to 180. And that's off, that's off. The last time I made it, I was going to do that today, but I'll hold off. Just to give it a little more flair, the lemon chicken, I had some fried, I sauteed some mushrooms and put those on top of the chicken. And what do you call it? Just for a little extra. You don't really need it. But even, like I said, you could put capers into the sauce. You don't need that either. But just to give, like I said, I gave you the base recipe today. And I think we're good here. Maybe just a little more. Just want to get a little brown on top. I have that on broil. Let's just wait a few minutes till all that gets a little brown. I have to thank you, Jen, for correcting me on my new tool. Actually, I got two new tools this year. I got this little, the pepper mills. If you don't, what I found out is if you don't get one from the United States, which they're very hard to find anything made in this country, or France, the gears are not, that grind the pepper, aren't made so great. Now I've had this red one that I've used on the show for, well, all 11 or 12 years since I've been doing the show, and it finally, the top is broken. So rather than go out and spend another $80 on a one from France, I just bought this one from Oxo. It's nice. It's nice. It has adjustments on it and stuff. The only thing is, as I use it, I want to use the, I keep turning the bottom to have the bottom come out instead of the smaller end. So, but this here, I guess, well, Jen corrected me, I was using it wrong, but it is a nice tool, and basically you can get all that juice out of the lemon, which you can't do by your bare hand, which I've been doing forever. So, anyway, that's the story on that. Okay, I think we're good here, because I don't want to dry these out. I'm just gonna this is, I had to make this, I made this for company, and somebody that was coming was gluten-free, was celiac, and they had to have theirs gluten-free. So I don't know why, I just thought I should come up with something. I said, what am I gonna do? I said, I'm gonna serve this to everybody else, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for this person that needed gluten-free. But basically, it's a gluten-free recipe. All I had to do was substitute the rice flour, which I'm not exactly sure if that's how I phrased it earlier. So the rice flour was good enough to mix in with the cheese, and there's nothing else here that has wheat product in it. So basically, this can be a gluten-free recipe if you needed it to be. And our sauce, which is kind of evaporated and cooked down now, and it's very silky. That last 2 tablespoons of butter really put some nice silkiness to this. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and spoon that around the chicken. And a little bit on top. Okay, and I'm going to get a little bit of parsley and dress it up a little. And that's our lemon chicken, our easy lemon chicken. Okay, now for our Iowa skinny sandwich, which is simple, very simple sandwich. Put that back. Okay, where am I? Let's just shut that off. Okay, so I have, oops, sorry, I have these buns. Of course, you can make this any way you want, but I'm sticking with the traditional recipe. It's not really a recipe, but traditionally how it's done in Iowa is we got our bun here. And we're going to put a little mayo on it. Oh, I think it's lettuce first. Hold on, I got a little bit of romaine lettuce. Little romaine, little tomato, let's see, just flatten that out a little tomato, and mayo. I don't know if I can get any more mayo out of this. I'm gonna have to open up this other one. A little mayo here. Spread that out. One of the recipes here had spicy mustard. You could do that. But I figure stay with the theme that we already had. We had the mayo mixed in with the eggs. And that is that. That is that. And that is that. And we got our dish for display. And that is our Iowa skinny sandwich. You could put pickles on there. You could put whatever you want, but basically that's how the pork cutlet is made. Okay, those are our two simple recipes for today. Again, thank you for being in my kitchen today. It was great to have you here. And thank you, Lauren, for doing the cameras. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for correcting me on my new OXO lemon juicer. I just want to thank our gracious sponsors, as always. I should know that, but we've missed a few months due to the holidays and a few other unforeseen circumstances. But Gibson Sotheby's Realty, thank you, Larry Rideout. Liquor Junction, Woburn, Reading, Somerville, Winchester Center, North Andover. Mooney Dental here in Woburn, thank you, Kevin Mooney. And Hillside Florist, 888 Main Street here in North Woburn. Thank you, Charlie Hardy, for beautiful bouquet of flowers. Really appreciate it. So that's it for today. All I want to say is, as I usually say, good health and good cooking. See you next time on the Easy Gourmet.
Easy Gourmet is sponsored by Liquor Junction of 345 Washington Street in Woburn. Other locations include 1 General Way in Reading, 632 Main Street in Winchester, and 14 McGrath Highway in Somerville. Gibson Sotheby's International Realty. Hillside Florist, located at 888 Main Street in Woburn.